y'all? Welcome to the 6th episode of the iChain podcast. I'm your host, Oscar Kemjika. The world has been taken aback by a current pandemic, COVID-19, the coronavirus. Right now, what we're going through is unprecedented times. A lot of things have been canceled indefinitely, postponed. Our reality is different, a lot different than it was at the beginning of the year. We're only one quarter through the year, and it seems like life as we know it has taken a turn. From a lot of people's perspective, for the worse. Those who have been affected directly, whether it be a family member, loved one, someone that you know, coworker that has been affected personally by COVID-19, coronavirus, it hits home. It hits home. And, I'm thinking of it like we're all in this together. Whether we're directly affected by it, we are all directly affected by it. Let's just say that. Whether we have the virus or not, it seems that we all have to be on guard. My personal story right now, what I'm going through as an athlete, in the year of 2020, Tokyo was circled on my calendar. The Olympic trials circled on my calendar. One of my biggest life goals, that was. And it still is. Problem is, it's not going to occur this year in 2020. Like many other athletes across the globe, either it was a dream deferred or a dream not to be realized for one reason or the other. This was a lot of people's last chance for a lot of things. You talk about the student athletes, the high school seniors, middle school seniors, or, college seniors. Those people who won't have that opportunity again to see what could have been in their athletic careers or athletic lives in this moment, this 2020 time period where things were just suddenly stopped because of a life-threatening illness that we're all facing. Now, I want us to stop and think about what we all can do to bring light during this dark and difficult time. I'm blessed to still be able to virtually train clients as a fitness professional. And for the past 2.5, 3 weeks, that has been quite interesting. I learned a lot. And this has become my new norm as far as work is concerned. And I'm still able to reach people in a positive sense, during this difficult time. I'm still able to help them reach their fitness goals and work towards their goals and do something that's going to help boost their immune system, which is very important at this time. Also improve their mood. Exercise does that for us. It does it for us physically and mentally. Helps us out, during tough times when there's not much else to do. You're looking for productivity. You're looking for something that's gonna uplift your mood and your spirits. Exercise is one of the best things one can do. And that's been my joy. My joy has been productivity, working out, helping others, increase their level of endorphins and feel good about themselves. Doing something healthy to help boost their immune system and feel stronger. That's what gets me going during these tough times. The other thing is creativity. Producing these podcasts has always been fun, and it has been just that, these past couple of weeks as well. And just leaning on, moral support, leaning on the support of people that are close to me, assuring that their safety, that they're safe and they're healthy. And I'm happy to say that we're all good. My close relatives and people in my circle, and we're gonna continue to fight. I'm gonna continue to, be a voice of hope and do my best to bring the message of hope, and that's what I'm here to do today. So COVID-19 has sparked me to look at it from another lens. Look at what can we do to overcome this global threat that is on our hands. And I created an acronym with COVID, COVID. And let's look at what is happening to us right now for most people on the negative side of COVID, and then we're going to also look at the positive side of COVID and what we can do to change this. COVID. It's causing a lot of people to be cowardly and feel crippled. Think about all the fear that, the media, when you look at the numbers, the number of cases, the number of deaths, how much fear that's causing amongst the people around the world. It's crippling, it's debilitating. It's making a lot of people feel helpless and hopeless. When you think about, that kind of a mentality where the woe is me attitude, the sky is falling. When you look at the hundreds of thousands of people that have been infected, hundreds of thousands of cases out in Europe, here in the United States, in different countries around the world, and look at the deaths, the number of deaths, and you just think to yourself, man, like, it's just scary times. That's not where we want to be. We want to be on the other side of that and be courageous. We want to have the ability to still be creative during these times, even though we're not in our normal routine and our normal flow of things. This is how we're going to overcome that feeling of being cowardly and crippled. We have to use our creativity. We have to tap into our creative force and be more productive during these times. Be courageous instead of fearful. Looking at it from another lens, you got CO, oppressed. A lot of people are feeling down now. They're feeling, like they're forced to be in a bad state where they can't produce. They're forced to be in a bad state where they can't get up and work. They're forced to be in a bad state where they can't go travel to their favorite places. So they feel oppressed and they feel like this is not life, and at the same time that, some people are oppressed, some people are oblivious to what's going on. Like they're not taking it seriously. They're not even looking to find out more information. They're just like, oh, whatever. And there are some people out there, how do we overcome this? How do we become optimistic during these tough times when it's nothing but negativity being shared on the media in front of the TV? We have to also look at ways that we can organize. This is a good time to actually clean up. If you're home, this is a good time to organize your thoughts. This is a good time to plan ahead. Plan for everything that you want to do for the next few months once this thing's passed. Because this is not forever. This too shall pass, right? So let's flip that feeling of feeling oppressed and being oblivious to being more optimistic and organized during this time, especially now that we have so much time on our hands to organize and start planning. Now, another thing that people are going through and feeling during this time is feeling victimized. They're feeling like they already got the virus, even if they're not diagnosed yet. All of these cases coming about and then their city being hit. It's like, oh, I'm next. We don't want to feel victim. We can't afford to feel like victims at this time. We can't be victims. We have to be victors. We have to claim victory because that's how we're really gonna be victorious, right? We have to walk in faith. We have to stand tall with our chest out, knowing that this virus is not gonna have my name on it. I'm not gonna succumb to this. I'm not gonna be a victim of this. I'm gonna stand tall and be victorious and triumph over this thing. And also, we put ourselves in a vulnerable state if we have that victim mentality. We cannot be vulnerable. We cannot be vulnerable to misinformation. We cannot be vulnerable in a sense that we think at the same time we can't be infected, right? But what we must do is feel victorious, be victorious, and claim victory that come what may, we're gonna overcome this thing. If we all have that mentality, the world will be in a much better mental state. And also, veracious. We gotta make sure that we verify our sources. Everything that's being said to us in the news We have to go back and research. We have to go back and fact check and verify, so that we're not just frightened, so that we're not just bombarded with information that's going to have us feel like victims and have us feel like we're hopeless and helpless. And a lot of people are infected. A lot of people have been infected personally, or indirectly, with a family member being infected, or they themselves have been infected physically, and also mentally. When you think about the information that's being shared, people are mentally infected. So I'm not just going to look at one news source from this person and think, oh, this is just negative information, and let that affect my mood. And then I go share that same information with the next person, and that's going to infect their mood. We got to figure out, okay, we'll verify our sources first. Look for the information that's going to help uplift us to find out what to do about this COVID-19 virus, and then spread positivity. We cannot afford to put ourselves in a vulnerable state by being infected by information that comes from an ignorant source, or a source that did not verify their facts, or a source that comes from negative lenses. Let's do our best to help each other in this situation and be more encouraging. And how do we do that? We be insightful. We find out the information that's going to help us, be more informative and encouraging and uplifting. That's what we need during this time. And inspiration comes from, being able to breathe life into something or someone. So if this information that's given is just going to create more fear, it's not helping. And then a lot of people are going through depression at this time. These are dark times. If you can't get up and work like how you normally would, if you're just you've been at home, you haven't stepped out of your house in 2 or 3 weeks, it's a dark space to be in. The weather is getting nice soon. We've already entered spring and the weather is warming up. This is the perfect time to really go out for a walk in nature. Do what you have to do. Put your gloves on, put your mask on, but don't stay indoors and feel like it's the end of the world. That's not gonna help. Instead of being depressed, we have to be determined. Determined that these times are gonna pass. Determined that the coronavirus will be a thing of the past, and that we're all gonna get back on our feet. And then live to tell the story of what was a challenging time during 2020. But, tell the story of victory. Tell the story of triumph. Tell the story of, us being stronger because we collectively work together to overcome this thing. And it's a collective effort. We're all in it together. And on the depression note, some people are despondent. Some people are, believe it or not, they already thrown in the towel. They're already like, I'm just not even gonna fight this thing. I'm just gonna live my life. We do not want to do that. We still want to be mindful. We still want to take precautions, and we want to be diligent in the process as well. Diligence is determination's cousin. It is hard work. It is being precise. It is being calculated in everything that we do. So we have to take those precautions. Wash our hands thoroughly. Do what we can to sanitize properly, and then be an example to the next person. Practice social distancing. We cannot be ignorant in the process and despondent too, and nonchalant. We have to take ownership, take responsibility. That's how we all gonna get through this. So COVID, the do's and the don'ts. The don'ts: do not be cowardly. Do not feel oppressed. Do not feel victimized. Do not be infected with negative information and go and infect others with that same negative information. And don't feel depressed. There's many things that we can do to uplift our mood. The do's is be courageous, be optimistic, be victorious, be insightful, and be determined that this is a test that we're all gonna pass and get through. We stick together and take the necessary precautions to flatten the curve. Now, I wanna touch briefly on what exactly is COVID-19, the coronavirus. I know a lot of us have been bombarded with a lot of information. I just wanna make sure that we're all on the same page and that we know the steps that need to be taken during these times to help us with dealing with coronavirus. So this is from a credible source in the World Health Organization. Coronavirus is an infectious disease caused by COVID-19, which is a new virus that was discovered this past December 2019 in Wuhan, China. The disease causes respiratory illness like the flu with symptoms such as a cough, fever, and in more severe cases, difficulty breathing. You can protect yourself by washing your hands frequently, avoiding touching your face, and avoiding close contact 1 meter or 3 feet within a person who is unwell or infected. How it spreads primarily through contact with an infected person when they cough or sneeze. It also spreads when a person touches a surface or an object that has the virus on it, then touches their eyes, nose, or mouth. That's why it's important to make sure that you sanitize properly by washing your hands frequently. The COVID-19 name comes from CO part comes from corona, the VI comes from viral, and the D comes from disease. The 19 comes from when it was discovered back in 2019. The most common symptoms are fever, tiredness, and dry cough. Some patients may have aches and pains, nasal congestion, runny nose, or sore throat, and diarrhea. Now, if you have these symptoms, do take precaution. It doesn't mean that you're automatically infected with coronavirus, but it does mean that you should get tested. And if you feel like, it's not related, you use your judgment. But we have to make sure that we do not spread this disease. We have to take precaution. That's why it's important to make sure you do your research and learn more and share with others as well. Again, we have to uplift each other during these times. The best thing that we can do for one another is bring positivity, and that's what I would like to do with this podcast as well. This is tough times that we haven't seen before. I do see us getting through this. I do see us all helping one another, and we're gonna come up stronger. Again, the sources for all the information that I shared today will be linked in the description. I am looking forward to continue to bringing you more uplifting content, and I'm here, I'm in this with y'all. We all in this together. We're gonna overcome COVID-19, and we're gonna always, look back at times like this for strength and draw strength from it. I see light at the end of the tunnel. All right, y'all. So we got some amazing guests and amazing episodes coming your way for the iTrain podcast. Looking forward to bringing that to y'all. Stay safe out there. We're gonna continue to keep the ball rolling in the iTrain podcast. Looking forward to the next episode. I'm your host, Oscar Kimchika. Peace.